and I bought like a leather jacket, and I remember like people, like beautiful women talking to me who never would have talked to me before. Like on the subway once, a lady was like, "Sorry, could you take your headphones?" And I was like, "What the fuck is this?" And I was like, "I'm never taking this leather jacket off."
Do you still own that leather jacket?
No, it's long gone. It was a shitty, cheap, like H&M one. Yeah, now I have a personality.
Yeah.
To Non-Drinking Buddies. I'm Ann Gregory.
And I'm Rebekka Johnson, and this is the podcast where we talk to teetotaling guests about how they find the fun in a booze-free life.
And today we have a really fun guest who Rebekka has known since he was a kid in Staten Island.
We have J.F. Harris, who's a stand-up comedian.
He's currently touring the United States. You can go check him out and see him. He might be in your city.
He's even going to be touring in Europe this summer. And you can find out all about his tour at the J.F. Harris on Instagram. Write it down now, because I know you're going to love him. He's hilarious. He's awesome. He's from Staten Island, and he's wearing a satin Mets jacket.
Oh, yeah. All right. Let's talk
Give it up to
J.F.
Harris. Okay, JF, thank you so much for coming on our podcast.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah, it's so exciting to actually, I've seen you grow up.
Yeah, literally. You've seen me.
He's like your little brother.
Kind of. He was really best. He was like best friends with my little brother.
Really?
Yeah.
You guys went to the same school?
Her dad used to drive me to high school.
What?
Yeah.
You know her dad's moving out here?
They moved here.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Wow.
I gotta go hang out with the Johnsons.
I know.
Maybe he can drive you somewhere.
I know.
For old time's sake.
Yeah.
I remember your brother once joking, because I gave for Christmas one year, because your dad, like my freshman year, drove me and your brother to school every day. I gave your dad a bottle of wine, and your brother thought that was the funniest thing in the world.
He's like, he doesn't really drink
he was like, he's never gonna drink.
That's amazing. Did your parents tell you that you should do something like that? Because my parents were always like, if you ever stay at somebody's house, always bring them a bottle of wine. If they don't drink, you get them flowers.
I'm gonna rephrase this. Okay. My parents got your dad.
Yeah.
I was a teenage kid. I did not give a shit at all.
That's very nice of them. That's so funny. Well, I remember you skating outside our house.
Yeah,
like,
had a little
skateboarding. You guys built a ramp.
Yeah, you had a little half pipe in your treehouse in the backyard.
Oh yeah.
I was more of an inline skater.
So cooler. I think
really
that's
cooler. Really way cooler.
Yeah. Most people have said it's cooler.
Yeah. I think universally it's cooler.
Yeah. Rolling on a pair of K2 Fatty Pros.
Yeah. You get it. Yeah. So you were a skater.
Yeah, I was.
Did you get offended by Avril's song "Skater Boy"?
No, though.
Okay.
I will also say I was an aggressive inline skater as well.
What? Oh,
yeah.
Wow. He was double cool.
So her brother, her brother rode a skateboard. We had an integrated crew growing up.
It was nice. Okay. Yeah, very diverse.
Very diverse.
All white
kids
who did skateboards or rollerblading.
That doesn't sound very diverse. Okay, we'll talk later.
Just in the wheels alone.
Oh, the wheels. Okay, got it.
4 wheels and 8 wheels.
That's diversity on Staten Island.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
That's integration on Staten Island.
Yeah.
It is a diverse place, but everyone is pretty separate.
So, you guys knew each other from Staten Island. Did you enter comedy because you saw Rebekka Johnson doing it, and like you were like, "Wow, she's doing it. I'm gonna do it."
And
you know what?
I'm sorry.
It's true.
It's true.
It's 100% true.
Oh my God, that's
funny.
great.
I didn't tell Ann that. I just said we grew up together. She obviously didn't listen.
I don't listen to. I don't hear her.
Yeah.
It's like yep, and I don't.
You've been around her too long. You're like a man who's lost his high end.
Yes. So he saw me do improv.
He's like, I have to do that
at the original UCB, or maybe the second space that they had, the one before
Gristedes. That was like the main. Yeah, that was the main one
and it was the 3-on-3 competition.
Oh,
and I remember. I can't remember who
I could tell. Place, or did we win? I can't remember. But
I can
we
tell
were high
you.
Up there.
Yeah, I can tell you. Like, if I saw the faces of all of those improvisers now, I could still point them out. And I remember one of the guys like pulled his pants down, and you saw his ass at the end of the show.
I don't remember that.
And as a teenager, I was like, "This is the coolest."
How do I get to do that?
Really? And I wanted to do it, and I said to all of our friends, like growing up, like because we had a pretty big core group. I was like, this would be fun to do. And everyone's like, we're not fucking doing that.
Yeah.
Like a bunch of kids from Staten
As
Island.
if all of my brother's friends, like as if all of you guys were going to have an improv team.
Yeah.
Hilarious. And like you
oh my God, Impractical Jokers. Isn't that they're from?
I'm friends with all of those guys.
Staten Island is a big and small place.
Yeah, Staten Island's 600,000 people, so it's like the population of like Boston.
Right. Just a part of New York City.
Yeah, just part of New York City. And like if you do comedy on Staten Island, there's like 15 of us. Now there's a couple more stand-ups who are like popping up.
Joe. Yeah, and and Brittany.
Yeah.
Brittany?
No, I don't know. I just named people. I just like
when you said Joe, I just assumed you meant Joe Gatto. So I was like, yes, Joe. Yeah.
Well, and it wasn't until I feel like Colin Jost and I literally forgot Pete's last name.
Davidson.
Yeah.
But it wasn't until like they're more like outwardly forward-facing Staten Islanders.
Yeah, they bought a ferry.
Yeah, but like before that,
I saw the plans. It looks remarkable.
I'm kind of upset they didn't call me in on that.
I know.
Granted, I didn't have the money.
$5.
Did you hear they're going to put the ferry in Miami? Maybe.
Oh, that makes sense.
I'm like, why put the Staten Island ferry in? Well,
I guess
talk
it's
later.
nice. It's nice water more year round.
Okay.
You know?
It's probably also cheaper to dock it there.
Yeah.
It's a good place to tax
I guess
haven.
so. Yeah.
Oh, it's a tax evasion thing.
Yeah.
Great.
Well, they're from Staten Island.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
But yeah, he started doing comedy, and he actually moved to Chicago and started doing comedy there.
Got it.
And I went to England before I lived in Chicago. I moved to Europe for a little while when I was 19.
Wow.
Or 20, like in that age range. And when I was there, I was like already thinking about doing improv, and I stopped in Boom, Chicago.
Which is in Amsterdam.
And your name got me far there. You were Jordan Peele.
Dropping that name.
Yeah.
Knew who you, like, I was like, I know one person who did improv. And then he was like, hung out with him a bit, got to go to going away parties, stuff like that. And then I went to Edinburgh, Scotland for the Fringe Festival.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I was waiting for a date outside of like the ticket box because I like met somebody while I was over there.
Yeah.
Before Tinder, you were still like,
wow.
Every port. You had a
Always
ship
young,
in every
drunk,
port.
and horny.
That's
Yeah.
the Staten Island charm.
Yeah.
You were the Davidson of Edinburgh.
Oh,
Yeah. Which Hadid were you dating?
Sorry?
Which Hadid? Like the Gigi, the Bella?
I don't know what that is.
Okay, they're like Kardashian adjacent.
Okay,
models.
cool.
Yeah.
You were dating all of them.
I was dating all of them. Yeah.
He doesn't know their names, Anne.
I treat him like Hadid. Yeah.
Oh my God!
I'm trying to.
Rebekka, your parents listen to this podcast.
Oh no!
It's all right. They've heard a lot.
They've heard a lot. They've heard a lot.
Yeah, they've seen some too.
Yeah.
So I'm dating all of them.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
But when I was there, I met. Oh my God! Rachel Mason.
Yeah.
And Rachel Mason knew you because you guys did like a project together, like some TV pilot where somebody stole all the money or something like that.
Yeah.
And they gave me a free ticket to go see Baby Wants Candy, and I was like, "This is great." And then I went out with all of them to a bar afterwards, and then I was like, "I'm gonna go train at Second City." And then one of the guys gave me his Torco card and was like, "Hey, just so you know, I'm in Second City. I'm in the touring company. Don't go train at Second City. Go to IO."
Oh, wow.
And you know who it was? It was I can't remember the dude's name. He's on that the soccer show with
Ted Lasso?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's Brendan Hunt.
Yes.
Yeah,
I think
I can't remember.
We know Brendan Hunt, and Brendan Hunt's great, and that's
the guy with the beard.
100% something like Brendan would do. Brendan came out here, and he started writing plays right away. He always kind of like just did his. He was part of that crew and also did his own thing at the same time, always.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the guy with he has like the beard on the show, right?
Yeah.
That guy. He gave me his card and he was like, "Hey, whatever." He was like, "Go to IO." And then I did, and that's how I got in there and started doing comedy at 20.
Okay.
Wow.
So, my question is, you're in Chicago. I know that they drink alcohol there.
They do.
Did you start your career in drinking alcohol in Chicago or in Staten Island?
No, Staten Island.
What? Who were all these so I was inline skating in Milwaukee, not drinking.
Not drinking? Grinding the rails straight sober?
Cross country running.
She used to call, like, she told us once a story about going to a drinking party.
Yep, that's
like, and it was like, I was bad. I went to a drinking party.
Yeah, we were like,
I was a nerd, guys.
We were like getting picked up by cops for like buying 40s at like,
really?
Yeah, like 14.
Your brother too?
Yeah.
Wow.
Your brother never got
He never got in trouble. He would get away with it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know that my parents know that.
Oh.
Well,
Andrew never
it's been
got
enough
in
time.
trouble.
No one's gonna get
Andrew never drank.
disowned.
Yeah, it still does it.
Still doesn't.
I'm pretty sure they've seen him drink.
Yeah, he is in his 40s. There's
So-
should not be any fear anymore.
Yeah.
What age was that you started?
I started drinking at 13.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
And were your parents big drinkers?
No. My mom doesn't drink.
Okay.
My grandfather was an alcoholic. And my dad drinks, but he like kind of really doesn't like alcoholics. He doesn't like people who can't really handle their booze.
Right. Yeah.
I think that's more of a dad thing than a.
It's an age thing sometimes too.
Yeah, and so I grew up in a, like he would, I think I've seen him like really drunk, like maybe 3 or 4 times, but he would, my family was big Irish Catholics, Staten Island, New York. Yeah. I'm like one of like, I have like. I'm not exaggerating when I say like 50 plus cousins.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like those 9-kid families.
My
It's
mom,
Catholic.
my dad's one of 6. My mom's one of 7. Or no, reverse that. My dad's one of 7. My mom's
My
one of
mom
6.
was one of 7.
Yeah.
Irish Catholic Sullivans. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, we're probably related. I'm a Sullivan.
Yeah. Oh, really? Yeah.
Somewhere
The
in
Sullivans fucked.
Yeah.
Listen, we could get sponsored by 23andMe and figure this out.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it. So you had like the genetic predisposition. You had the Staten Island predisposition.
Yeah.
And then you entered the comedy world, which is just like full of drinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, but before that, I was already like a professional drinker.
Really?
They would go to bars.
Yeah, we
in
started-
high
What?
school.
When you were 13?
Not
Not
quite
13, like 15, 16.
Yeah.
Were you rocking this facial hair? I know we're on a podcast, so you can't see it, but he's got great facial hair.
Thank you.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
is
yeah.
just laziness.
Okay.
No,
Oh.
I was like pretty baby face. I used to have a stand-up joke like early in stand-up about how I used to go to bars when I was 15, and it's because I had I had what's technically called a big fat Irish dock worker's face.
So like he must have just gotten off a shift.
Yeah,
he
exactly.
he was an extra season 2 of The Wire.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I just kind of, but sometimes I look back and I see photos, but like it's a weird thing because I'm 40 and my parents' generation.
That's disgustingly old. Can
Thank
you
you. Sorry, I apologize. I will go hang myself now.
Sorry. No, we're both older than that. We're joking.
And no, we're not. We're 22.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
sorry. We're
Yeah.
23 and me.
That's why we can't.
And being from my parents' generation, they
Yeah.
could drink at 18.
Oh,
and so for
yeah.
them, it wasn't uncommon to go to bars when you were 15 or 16. You get an older sibling's ID.
Right.
And so for my parents, for I think our parents' generation, for their kids to be drinking at like 15, 16, 17, didn't seem like that big a deal.
Yeah.
It was weird for my parents, but they were unique.
Yes. Yeah. I think Christian's the word.
Well, and also, just like rule following.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
they
yeah.
follow the rules.
That
They're
was my
good
parents.
people.
But
too.
also
they
to-
very much follow the rules.
To be fair, your brother is a pretty like.
He follows rules.
Yeah, he's not like your brother's not like a degenerate. He's a pretty
No.
straight-laced dude.
Yeah.
And I think it's because of the fact that he grew up with like
Straight-laced people.
people. Yeah.
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 So funny.
Yeah.
So you started going to bars. So then, obviously, you were drinking a lot in high school.
In high
times.
school, I would say I was drinking pretty much from the time I started drinking, which was like OE 40s on the corner in New York.
Old
drinking-
English 40s,
Yeah.
Anne.
Yeah.
Oh,
With
no, I didn't
sour apple
understand that.
blow pop chasers.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Yeah, just to like kill that malt liquor taste.
Wow.
Yeah.
Started doing that in high school, and that was once I started. It was pretty much every weekend until I hit my senior year, and then like Rebekka's brother's a year older than me, and that whole
Okay.
core group of friends are 1 year older than me, so they all
Okay.
went off to college my senior year. So by my senior year, I was pretty much like just drinking every day because we would just like
Even before school?
not before school,
Okay.
just every night. I was
Okay.
never. I'm the kind of alcoholic that like I don't have to like. I could take days off. My problem isn't. I was never like. I never drove my car. Well, that's not true.
Yeah.
I
You didn't get a DUI.
I never got a DUI.
Yeah.
I never didn't get into fights. I didn't. I did lose jobs, but like that's because I was like 20 and I was like, oh, my friends are going to the Poconos drinking. I want to go.
Yeah.
I
You
quit.
were also an idiot.
I was an idiot. Thank you. That's the technical term.
You're an alcoholic and separately an idiot.
Yes.
Yeah.
But like I'm the kind of alcoholic that like I don't have to drink every day. It's that once, but I usually did. But I'm the kind that, like, once I did drink, I didn't know how many I was going to have. So I was close the bar down there until 6 a.m, roll the gates up, go home, and get to bed.
Well, and that's also what's crazy about growing up in New York City, because even though we were in a suburb, bars are open till 4.
Oh, yeah.
So it's different than,
Nobody
like,
needs to be up at that point. That's crazy.
And if you're friends with the bartenders, you can stay there till 6.
Yeah, lock-ins.
So, and it's just is what it is.
Which
like,
is how my life
not legal.
was.
That's not legal.
And you both were, like, the drinkers who, like, closed down the parties. Like, you were, like, both great partiers.
I was too.
I was never that person. I was like Irish goodbye, bye-bye. I just would drink very frequently. My thing was like more of like a habitual alcoholism.
No, I drank all the time too.
But
but you were also fun. Like I was drinking and I was a real drip. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
Dropping that Gen Z language.
Or 1920s. It's a throwback.
Oh yeah, that's it.
Because I think when they say drip, they're talking about like
high
diamonds
fashion
and stuff. And
when
their clothes.
They're talking about the style is drippy.
Oh, got it.
You're using it in like a.
I didn't. No, I honestly, I knew it was the 1920s. I didn't even know Gen Z was doing that.
I was saying drip, but in a totally different
context.
Oh,
I didn't know that. I just threw that out there as a joke.
I know, it's just so
Oh,
funny.
God. Okay, got it.
So, okay, can you take us to what kind of led you to decide to stop drinking?
Oh my God!
You don't have to get too into detail.
No,
whatever.
I can tell you the whole story if you want.
Okay.
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I was drinking like that from the time I was 13 to the time I got sober at, I think I was 29 when I got sober.
Okay.
So, I put in a good chunk of work in that time.
And you were already doing stand-up by then?
I was doing stand-up. It wasn't my full-time profession. Funny enough, once I quit drinking is when I became a full-time stand-up pretty quick. It's weird how that happens.
It's weird how suddenly you have time for your dreams.
Actually
exactly.
work on your craft and all that stuff.
Yeah. Be responsible enough that people want to bring you
show
on
up on time. You don't puke.
I never drank before shows, or I would have like a beer or 2 beers. But I remember early on, my ex-wife once said to me, like, "How many beers do you have before we went on stage tonight?" And I was like, because the show took like longer to start. Like, maybe like 3, and she was like, I could kind of tell. And after that, like, I loved stand-up so much that I was like, I'm not letting this fuck up stand-up.
That's got it.
So I would just be like,
I love, by the way, though, that's just like the alcoholic brain is like, I didn't drink before. I had like 2 beers. You know what I mean? Like, Like, I once saw, you went to the Magic Castle last night.
I did.
And I went to the Magic Castle once, and there was this woman who she said, like the cocktail waitress came around and she's like, anyone want a drink? And this woman who was already like just sheets to the wind, like just like fucking drunk. She said, She said, I'm not drinking tonight. I'll just have a beer. And you're like, wow, that's a special kind of alcohol. Sorry, resume your story.
No, that sounded like a great. I just pictured her being very Southern, very from Texas.
I'm just visiting LA.
Hey, I'm not drinking that. I have a beer.
I forget what I was saying.
No, sorry. You were saying that you
didn't drink that much
during the stand-up.
Oh, during the stand-up. Yeah. So my life just was shitty. Like and one.
What are the ways that it was shitty? I don't know. That's kind of helpful.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't want to re-traumatize you. It's not what it's about.
I'm like, he is
I
being
don't give a
generous.
shit. Yeah. I'm a stand-up comedian.
What's your worst fear?
What's up?
I said, what's your worst fear?
Failure.
No, just kidding. Just kidding.
Death.
Yeah.
So my life had gotten pretty. I was like in a bad marriage.
Okay.
With that I just should have never got into. That I made some terrible choices. Nice person, but not the right person.
Yeah.
And my life was like very chaotic. I was not making a lot of money. I was kind of living on scraps, kind of like drinking all the time. Big fat piece of shit.
Were you in Chicago?
No, I was in New York.
Oh, back in New York. Okay.
Yeah. I got sober in New York.
Okay.
And so December 24th, 2012.
Okay. Yeah.
I wasn't planning on drinking.
Uh-huh.
because I had Christmas stuff to do the next
Yeah,
day.
yeah, of course.
yeah.
The way you do. And
You
then
gotta wake up.
and then my wife at the time came home and was like, we're going to meet our friends at the bar across the street. And I was like, I don't really want to do that. And she's like, come on. So I didn't do any of so we went to this bar. It's on 9th Avenue and 45th Street. It's called Rudy's in New York City.
Oh, I know Rudy's.
Yeah,
with
real
the free
hot dogs. Exactly.
Oh,
I knew that would gross you out.
just like that is not an incentive. The
It was-
smell alone, I'd be like,
Just-
nope.
Was
You're
an
not gonna
incentive for
love
us.
this.
It was an incentive for us. I used to live 4 streets from there. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
In
me
my
too.
mind, you're going to say, I didn't drink anything. I
just-
downed 37 hot dogs.
Yeah. And that's when I knew I had a problem. Ended up in OA. So no, then I fucking went there. It was a group of people, and I hadn't done any of my pre-drinking. You know how you have like a routine? You're like, lay a base. I do this. I do that. And so everybody else was like sharing a pitcher of beer. I had my own pitcher of beer, and I was just like outpacing people sharing pitchers.
Your own pitcher.
My own pitcher. Yeah. Why would I share with these animals?
Okay.
And so,
Were you drinking straight from the pitcher?
I mean, it would not shock me.
Were there hot dogs like mixed into the
Dipped into
pitcher?
the pitcher.
He hollowed out a hot dog and used it as a straw.
Oh, that's probably a drink
It's a
somewhere.
Staten Island straw.
Yeah.
No, it's really
Yeah,
a Coney Island straw.
Yeah,
That's a
Coney
Brooklyn
Island
straw. Yeah.
It's the perfect way to put it.
Yeah.
And so I was doing that, and then occasionally I'd throw back a couple of dogs every time. They give you a dog every time you get a pitcher
Oh
of
my
beer.
God, I know where this story's going.
So classic New York City, bar shuts down at somewhere between 2 and 4 in the morning.
Yeah.
And I'm fucking lit at that point because I've probably knocked back 6 or 7
Christmas Eve.
pitchers of beer. Yeah.
Rudy's.
Yeah.
I can't get over it.
So I drag my couple of friends next door.
Yeah.
We go to the bodega that's right next door, pick up a couple tall boys, invite everyone over to the house.
Yeah.
And then we go upstairs, drink. I don't know what time people leave. I go to sleep. I get up the next morning because we have to take the express bus to Staten Island to go see my whole entire giant Irish family for Christmas.
Oh my God.
Me and my
a bus.
Yeah, me and
Yeah.
my wife at the time fighting pretty
Oh
heavily.
yeah.
Because she has
Port Authority.
Oh, she has.
hungover?
It
I
wasn't.
have-
Luckily, it wasn't Port Authority.
okay.
So we took the train downtown to hop on the express bus from Lower Manhattan.
Okay.
And all I want to do is just get something in my stomach, and I
Yeah.
like want to go into Starbucks, grab a breakfast sandwich or something
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
And we're like fighting, and she's afraid we're gonna miss the bus.
Okay.
So I skip the breakfast sandwich.
no.
We get on the bus in downtown. Wrong move downtown because it's
idea.
fucking full.
Oh.
Completely full. Winter, New York City express bus. I have a winter jacket on. I have the next day alcohol sweats.
Oh God.
And the bus, the heat is turned up to tropical levels.
Oh no.
of thickness.
No. Oh no.
And so
You're
I have to
literally
s-
in hell.
Oh.
Literally. And I have to take a 45-minute bus ride standing, surfing my way in the middle of the rows to Staten Island while trying not to drop hot dog soup all over everybody.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah. And so I do all that. I make
Yeah.
it without throwing up.
Oh wow.
God.
Hero.
Hero.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a Christmas miracle for everyone else on
I
that
know.
bus.
Imagine just people having to show up
Dude.
to their like Christmas nice
With
outfits,
hot dogs.
just fucking
Oh, disgusting.
picking like.
And
is
you
that-
can't do anything
No.
really. They pull over, they try to clean it, but that smell is there.
Forever.
They would
Yeah.
not pull over.
Yeah. Imagine
If you
just-
threw up on that bus, there would be no pulling over.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
imagine
Maybe
that-
they'd kick you out.
Oh my God.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah,
I'd be
yeah,
standing
yeah.
on the side of the BQE.
Yeah. You'd still be there.
Yeah.
You would have moved in.
yeah.
They use the pink stuff. Like the pink
Oh,
stuff,
to
you know,
clean
to
it?
put on
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
cleaner stuff. I once
my
puked
God.
right after 9/11. I flew internationally to like go abroad for school, and I was so
Go to the
nervous about
Taliban?
flight.
Oh,
It was
sorry.
like it was like yeah, I had to join the Taliban. It was a week
And
later.
you shouldn't say that.
Oh, sorry
It's
for
public.
all
It's
of our
public.
narcs out there.
Yeah.
No. I was going to a school in England, and I
Show off.
England.
Jacques
That's
Lecoq.
such a
No, but I know what school it is. That's why I'm calling you a show off. Fancy
London School
town
of
USA.
Economics?
Yeah,
No, I wasn't that smart. But I
Wait,
went
What school? Oxford?
Oxford. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So I went. But I was so nervous about flying that I downed 2 Chardonnays. I've always been a lightweight.
Yeah.
I passed out. Woke up. There was vomit on the person next to me within the first hour of an international flight. They evacuated the row.
They did.
Yeah, they evacuated the whole row because I was like just seen as this disgusting person. I puked on my winter jacket. Speaking of winter jacket, I just
Nothing
remember the
worse
story.
than waking
All
up
these
and puke.
alcoholic stories. Like I was clearly an alcoholic, and And they put that pink stuff on it. And that smell still, I can still smell that pink stuff and the shame that came with it. Anyways, you did not puke and you weren't the pariah of the bus.
That makes me think of another. Nothing is worse than waking up in clothes covered in puke.
No. Oh, yeah.
I
also did it on the lady next to me, which is just like, I was a horrific person.
Yeah, it's
a bad person.
To get out of velour.
Yeah. Velour.
That's what. Velour? No, that's what everybody on Staten Island was wearing. Their little Christmas tracksuits.
Oh my Christmas tracksuits. It was when Juicy. Remember Juicy? Yes. But everyone had the knockoff Juicy because Juicy was quite expensive.
Yeah. They had baby fat.
Yeah.
Baby fat.
True.
Was that with a PH?
It was the Fat Farm female offshoot. Okay. I worked in demo. I know. If you need a Mecca hookup or an Ichi velour.
Oh yeah, we'll talk later. We'll talk later. Okay, got it. So you made it without puking.
Made it without puking. So we get there. My dad's waiting. Yeah. He's furious. I don't remember why. And he's
already furious.
Yeah. He's just an Irish dad.
And I was like, hey, can I get the keys? I forgot something. I got to run to CVS.
Yeah.
Which was gifts for my family.
Oh, no.
So I go to CVS to get gifts.
Wait, you hadn't gotten any gifts?
No, self-centered alcoholic.
Damn.
Also poor, you know.
Also, I like CVS is gonna have really, really top-notch gifts for my family.
It's like
you get them gum.
Yeah. So wait, me and my ex go to CVS, and then I fucking throw up in a CVS parking lot.
Oh yeah.
Just losing it. And really, truly, I make this joke every year on Twitter, but nothing says rock bottom like giving your mom a Chili's gift card for Christmas.
I've seen that joke.
Yeah, I tweet it every Christmas.
It is really funny.
So you literally gave her a Chili's gift card.
It was something like that. CVS gift, and they're all wrapped in CVS bags.
Oh,
and then
wait, you didn't even splurge. Okay,
for the
sorry.
You
didn't even splurge for the little holder or like some wrapping paper?
Probably not.
It's Christmas Day. That's going to be half off.
And you can never, but you can never say again that you're trash because you're from Wisconsin. Sometimes you're like, I'm trash because, I drink beer. I'm from Wisconsin.
Well, you know what?
Staten Island is a new level.
Okay. Okay.
Let's put it this way. We're the only part of New York City that thinks Donald Trump's a good guy.
Yeah. That's not him, but the other people that we grew up with.
There.
That's why he left.
I mean, there are people everywhere who think he's the great. Like for some reason, they see him and they're like, oh yeah, he's Christ, and you're like, what?
I know.
Yeah, there's 3 listening to this podcast right now who just turned it on.
Oh my God.
Like, 3. That's it. Yeah. Oh my God. Okay, so your dad's mad. You go to CVS. You give them gift cards in plastic bags.
Yeah. And then I'm in my cousin. I'm at my cousin. It's at my cousin's house, so I'm sitting in the basement.
Okay.
Everyone's upstairs. Irish guy having fun. I'm in the the man cave on the couch, shaking it with the sweats.
You're in Dennis's. Sean. What Irish name is this kid?
This is my cousin Christy's house.
Okay. That doesn't fit. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, she's half Irish, half Puerto Rican.
Okay, that's what. Okay.
There you go. Or as my great grandmother would call her, a mickety spick.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Apologies to everyone on the podcast
who never got to meet my grandmother.
Different generation.
Yeah.
Staten Island grandmas.
Oh, it's crazy.
Yeah.
And so she, racist. And so they, I just remember in that moment, like thinking to myself, like there was like a moment of clarity that came to me where I was just like,
Christmas morning.
Yeah, that was literally where I was like, this isn't me. This isn't the life. This isn't who I'm supposed to be. This isn't the life I want for myself.
Wow.
And
it
that
was a Christmas miracle. I'm just
giving
you this gift.
Is it a gift card from Chili's?
Yeah, it's a gift card from Chili's. No, you should write that as like a Hallmark movie.
Yeah.
You should seriously write it. Like,
I think
as a Hallmark
they might
movie.
not like all. They'll be like, "Can it be he's quitting cupcakes instead of alcohol?"
Yeah. I don't know. They're going a little edgier.
True.
Maybe do it, but you gotta ditch your wife. Your wife has to be. Your ex has to be like worse in this scenario, and then you find somebody who you fall in love with.
A sober fellow.
A sober fellow person.
Yeah.
You know. Anyways, I'm just pitching.
Yeah.
Just giving it to you.
Yeah. Might as well try.
Yeah,
Christmas miracle.
I got a sober movie I'm pitching around town.
Really? Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so then did you immediately reach out to? Did you have someone to reach out to for help?
So once in my life before this, I quit drinking, or didn't quit drinking. I took a break for 90 days.
Okay.
Wow. Someone told me I looked like a celebrity that I found to be a very unflattering comparison.
Please tell us.
No, I won't for that person.
It's
rude to that person.
Okay, got it.
And so
it's John Hamm.
Yeah.
You're like, I am not the guy on Mad Men. I am not drinking all that whiskey.
I don't wear suits. Yeah. I don't work for the ad man.
You know what's funny? What? When I threw up, when you were saying, I was like, oh yeah, nothing worse than throwing up in a suit. I picture myself when I lived in Chicago doing comedy in my early 20s, waking up in a suit covered in vomit. And it's not because I had a job. It's just because the Strokes were cool at the time.
That you just wore suits.
Oh my God, the Strokes. I remember.
Oh my God.
And so, but where did my brain go in that moment? Sorry,
No.
So I said, so you had to quit drinking for 90 days at one point.
Oh, yeah. And then, so in that 90 days, I lost a shit ton of weight. Yeah. I did the calculations of how much money I would save by not drinking. Yeah. And I was like, oh, I can move from a studio to a 1-bedroom apartment.
Wow.
And at that point, I was drinking I drank free most nights of the week, and the nights I didn't, I was drinking like PBRs.
Yeah, it's not like you were drinking.
So you weren't actually spending that much on it.
But
it just the cost to your life.
Quantity as
quantity,
well.
Yeah. I was like a 15 to 20 a day beer kind of guy.
Wow, 15 to 20 beers.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot.
It's a lot.
Yeah. That is why you say I didn't drink before shows. I only had 2.
Yeah.
Because
like that was
20.
nothing. Yeah, that was probably just feeling normal a little bit.
Yeah. And you start drinking at 8 o'clock and then you drink till 6 in the morning.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
2 per
There's
hour.
that like saying, it's like, I never drank in the morning. And then someone from sobriety goes, were you ever up drinking at 6 a.m. from the night before? And it's like, all the time.
But that was the night.
Yeah. And it's like, well, if people are going to work, you're technically drinking in the morning.
Yeah. When you see people on their way to the ferry, when you're on the way home on the ferry, that's you drank in the morning.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I just got a tall boy on the ride home at 6 in the morning.
They serve it.
I'm just wondering why. I mean, that New York, like the bars being open to 4 or whatever, must have something to do with shifts and like unions or whatever. Like there has to be a law behind that.
It's the city that never sleeps. It's the city that never sleeps.
Yeah, but I'm like, that's just so bad.
But like
for
Vegas,
people.
right? Vegas is 24 hours.
Yeah.
New York is a step back from that.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
We think you need to be in bed by 4.
And I'm like, what union was okay? Like they were fighting for their workers. That's where my brain goes.
Yeah, third shift.
Yeah, exactly. They deserve a beer too.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Out at a place.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, so you made it 90 days. Was that hard for you?
Not really, because I'm a person that like when I'm doing a thing, I'm doing a thing.
Okay. So you made the choice. Like it wasn't like I think I should. It was just like I'm doing it.
But that was earlier.
I was like I'm gonna take a little 90-day break.
Yeah.
Lose some weight, and I got fucking
and you did it to be thin. That's the thing.
Yeah.
It's also different to quit drinking because
got
you're like
Pete
I'm an
Davidson
alcoholic.
No joke. I like not Pete, but like close, and like. And I went from like I'm trying to, but like I went from like heavy set dude to like not in shape, but like skinny for the first time in my life as an adult.
Right. Yeah.
And I remember I went out and I bought like all new clothes when I got in shape.
You're like, this will never end.
A leather, 100%. And I bought like a leather jacket, and I remember like people. Like beautiful women talking to me who never would have talked to me before. Like on the subway once, a lady was like, sorry, could you take your headphones? And I was like, what the fuck is this? And I was like, I'm never taking this leather jacket off.
Do you still own that leather jacket?
No, it's long gone. It was a shitty, cheap, like H&M one. Yeah, now I have a personality.
Yeah.
Because like back then, I was just like, hey, I'm a fun guy. I didn't have confidence. I didn't have, like, I got sober. I like learned how to be an adult man.
Yeah.
Like that's the big difference. And like I learned how to be okay with myself. And I've been sober for 12 years, and I got into therapy. I did a lot of work. Like I followed my career. I got good at what I wanted to do. Like I'm not great at everything, taxes, shit like that. But
no, who is great at anything? Everything.
Nobody.
Anything. Who's great at anything?
I saw you post for your 10-year anniversary on Instagram. And so I was still drinking at that point. But when you did that, I like shoved it in my brain and was like, when I quit, I'm going to reach out to him. And then I did.
Yeah.
Because then it was like 6 months later.
Yeah.
But it was really actually impactful to me because I think I knew you quit just like because I knew. But it was, it just really was like the way you said it. And you were like, if anyone needs wants to reach out. Like there was something so giving about it, and
you're a very giving person,
non-judgmental.
Yeah.
But I would never have like like, I'm not going to call any of my brother's other friends and ask them for anything. Not that, I like them. But I would never normally be like, oh.
Greg Goffin, piece of shit.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I might ask him for...
I should have used Greg's real name. I should have
But
Greg's
he has
also
a lovely carpentry business.
Oh, my God. Have you seen these cheese boards he's been making?
Wow.
You need a cheese board. Go to Goffin.
Yeah.
So he got a shout out, guys.
Yeah.
I'm hearing that you kind of so Rebekka inspired you with this, like you went and saw her comedy, which was a huge gift to you, and then you inspired her subconsciously with this whole like I see somebody who used to drink and they quit. I can do that.
Well, and he came to my
it's
house.
Like it's full circle. It's a circle of life, Lion King.
Yeah.
He
came to my house when my brother was visiting, and you brought like Spindrift and dark chocolate and raspberries.
That sounds like a real
love that.
special.
Wow.
It was great.
Delicious.
It was great. And I didn't drink that night, that one night. I was still a drinking person, but I was like, I'm not going to drink. I was like, James isn't drinking. I'm not going to drink. And I still smoked pot. But that day. But I remember just being like, I don't need to have a drink. I'll just have a Spindrift and the chocolate and the raspberries. And it was like in a way just being like, this is a way you can act as a sober person. You like bring Spindrift and I have literally brought that to
it's the
since
best.
I've gotten sober. I have brought that type of thing where I'm like, that's what James did, and so that's what I'm. It's like baby steps or something, or like I don't know what that is, like mimicry. But I just was like, at that time, I wasn't considering myself an alcoholic or like really considering quitting, but it was obviously I needed to quit. So it was like I was more observant of the way you lived your life than maybe an average person, because I was
She's stalking you. She's
Yeah.
stalking you.
I was outside your home with binoculars.
But they were just like,
Fisher
like
Price
they were
ones?
the Fisher Price ones.
Yeah,
So
they
they
didn't
really
work.
didn't work.
Windmills.
Yeah,
And I would hold them the wrong way. I'd hold them the wrong way, and so you were much smaller.
Yeah. So you're talking about some of the tools you use, therapy.
I've been in a 12-step program since I got sober.
So when did you?
Amazing.
So Christmas Day. Then did you like the next day go call a sober friend?
So when I was on that 90-day stretch, there was a guy who I knew who through doing comedy who were like driving somewhere, and I asked him about going to meetings, and he said to me, I was like, what's the deal with these meetings? Which if you're asking,
you need to just go get your ass there. Yeah.
And he was like, well, why don't you go to one and you'll know if you're supposed to be there.
Yeah.
And so then when I was getting sober, I called another guy who I knew who was sober through my job. And he just invited me to one, and I just went to one, and it was great. My first meeting too was like LGBTQ, like
I like those too.
Yeah, and I'm
open.
a straight cis dude, and I like show up, and it's like half the room or like it just was the coolest vibe. And like I showed up,
very
and everyone's
open-minded,
like, super open-minded. Yeah. Everyone's in their like early to 20s, late 30s,
right?
And everyone was having so much fun.
Yeah, filled with joy.
Like people were like, "Hey, I'm doing a drag king show this weekend. You want to come?" And I was like, "I don't even know what that is, but yeah, let's do it."
Awesome.
Yeah, and I was like, it was kind of a realization that like, oh, my life's not actually over.
Right.
And it really is the thing of like, your life's not over, it's just starting.
It's so it does sound like it started because your comedy career took off
pretty quick after.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's
because you went on tour with Joel McHale for a while.
Yeah, I've been on tour with Joel or off and on for pretty much almost the whole time I've been sober, because I'm trying to remember.
I have a really
personal
personal question about that.
Yeah.
Is he as tall as he seems?
Taller.
Oh my God! Sorry, that's really, really personal. Sorry.
No, you're okay.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
He's gonna be pissed at you.
He's gonna be pissed that you said that.
He's honestly, everyone's like, he plays, his like character thing is he plays a dick, but he's genuinely the nicest.
That's
person
awesome.
on earth.
Great.
Yeah. So he's just tall, handsome, and nice. This piece of shit.
So then how was that transition from? I mean, I know obviously you were in the 12-step program, and now you're thriving and killing it, and I'm sure comfortable going in all these places that serve alcohol and not drinking. But in the beginning, when you were still, doing stand-up, you did stand-up, let's say December 23rd, you'd be getting drunk on December 26th, you were not. So, like, what was that initial transition for you, like, in terms of your career?
I'm very lucky that I knew that I was done.
Wow.
Like I just admitted to myself, like I'm done.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
That made it so much easier. And I don't say I'm here. The other thing too is like I've learned this. It's like I don't say I'm never going to drink again because that's fucking psycho behavior. Right. But I just know I'm not going to drink today. And
Take it day by day.
Exactly. And also, it doesn't actually make my life better. Like my problem was, my problem was I have I'm allergic to alcohol that once I consume it, I don't know how many I'm going to have.
Right.
Yeah.
But also like I'm an anxious person and I was using that to feel comfortable around other people.
Same with both of us.
Yeah. Which is not an actual solution.
Yeah. And we're getting, so we're like 15 months into this journey.
Fuck
16 months?
16 months.
16 months.
Hell
yeah.
Congrats, buddy.
Thank you. And we quit on the same day for different reasons.
Oh, nice.
And we were different kinds of alcoholics, different flavors. But we are getting better with going out without drinking. Yeah. You know, and it's like, it's just like learning a new muscle.
Getting better to be comfortable.
My whole adult life, I was drunk when I was going to parties. You know? And so like learning how to
actually have full deep conversations with people in public.
Oh, I love full deep ones. Like I love going too deep with somebody right away. Yeah. One-on-one at parties, I love that.
You know how many free cups of coffee I've gotten in my life?
Really? How many?
Hundreds, thousands. You want to know why?
I want to know the trick.
Because I just go to a barista, how are you doing? And then they respond. And when I can tell that they're not okay, I go, what's that about? Because I've growing up in an uncomfortable house, I have a high antenna for like discomfort.
Oh, yeah.
People pleaser kind of energy.
Oh, me too. Yeah.
But now I genuinely give a shit about other people.
Right.
Oh, that's lovely.
I'm not scared of other people. So when someone's like, I can just tell they're not okay. Like, what's going on? And I will have long conversations with strangers because I can. And I'm genuinely concerned about people. And I wasn't before.
Right.
I agree. I do notice that like at parties, one thing, like a trick that like, and I think I've talked about this before, is just like asking questions just gets you out of your own head. And it's like to that whole point of like service being a big part of this sobriety journey. It's like, you're just like not focused on yourself for a while and you're genuinely focused on another person. It just like, it helps the whole situation.
I was even thinking about like, you know, something.
And it's interesting. People have interesting stories.
Oh, they do. Yeah. And also like, just the concept of reframing your brain, which is something we're sort of taught to be understanding rather than understood, right? And so thinking about, it's not about me being understood today when I'm here. It's about me understanding what someone else is going through. And that's another way of service in a sense. Yeah. But just like when I reframe that, it kind of takes me out of my like self brain and more into like, how can I kind of be a person who's listening rather than I need to share. Yeah. You know.
Well, that's the great thing about 12-step meetings. You go in and you're all like, my life sucks. And then you're in there for about 15 minutes and then you finally start hearing other people. And then someone says something and you're like, oh, my life's fucking fine. I'm it.
Yeah. I mean, it just puts things in context and it ignites your empathy. You know, like you start like being,
Yeah. It's similar like with career stuff. I learned this through doing comedy for a long time. That there's always going to be some people ahead of you. There's always going to be people behind you. And it's important to strive to be. So in two things, in sobriety, a lot of people struggle with the God thing. Yeah. There's a great saying.
The higher power.
Higher
thing.
power.
Yeah.
There's two good acronyms that I learned when I first got sober. One is a group of drunks for God.
Yeah. I brought that up.
And the other one is good orderly direction, which is my favorite one.
Oh, I like that.
And so
just a guide.
My job in my sobriety is I'm not to be perfect, but I think that when I got sober, that moment that I had where I was like, this is not me, this is not the life I had for myself. There is a version of myself that my higher power or myself, whatever it is, thought of like, that's the me. And my job is to just walk towards that.
Sure.
I'm never going to get there. I can make whatever plans and goals I want. It doesn't matter if I achieve those things. It's just that I am trying to get to them.
It's like the striving in the process, which is where the joy actually comes from.
And it's being present.
Yeah, that's being present. I'm working on that so hard.
Rather than thinking so much about the future or like regretting so much of the past.
Outcomes do not make you happy.
No, they don't. Because they're so outside of ourselves.
And we've all got things in our career where we're like,
this is it.
This is it.
Yeah.
And then it doesn't.
Yeah,
lead
I got
to
emails
else.
in my phone right now from people where I'm like, this was it,
Yes.
This person emailed me back. I've made
I know.
And then you're like, it doesn't fucking matter. What matters is like when I shot my first stand-up special. Yeah.
Congrats for
it. Thank you.
Yeah.
And I only could do it because I was sober. After the show, two of my best friends flew into town to open for me for it. One of my best friends, who I met through sobriety, directed it for me.
Cool.
And then two other really good friends were there too, who came down, and all of us piled into my 2016 Toyota Prius. Too many.
We all have
Priuses.
Yeah. Too many.
They do not sponsor us.
Yeah,
You can if you want to.
Yeah. I need an update. Big dudes all piled into my car. And after the special went great, and then we drove to Waffle House, and I had Wu-Tang blasting, and it was like we all did it together feeling.
Yeah,
that's right.
That's the best part about my special.
That's
amazing.
What I mean? Yeah.
And also to remember that.
Did you get into one of the Waffle House fights though? There?
They wouldn't let us inside because there was a shooting there recently. So there was an
I was joking about that, but that became too real.
There was an armed guard outside, and she was hysterical.
So you didn't get your waffles?
We got waffles. We had to eat them outside in the parking lot.
You had to eat them outside.
So, and she just sat there and roasted my friends, the security guard.
That's actually makes it even better.
Lady. It was the
that
best.
Makes it
I
great.
wish there was a camera on that.
Oh my God, that should have been the credit sequence.
Yeah, it really should have.
And then, but also I get to remember that that's what I'm shooting for is the shared experience with my friends. But also remember that there are people behind me who would murder to be where I am at.
That's
now.
100% it. And
and there's someone behind you right now with a knife.
Another thing to acknowledge in the stuff that we do is being sober makes us more focused on what we actually want to do. But a lot of this is beyond our control. So giving it up to a higher power is actually a good way to frame even what we do as in life, in anything, in all of life. Is just we don't have a lot of control. A lot of it's luck. A lot of it's just timing.
It's all that.
It's all of that.
Yeah, it's you. Yeah, you.
I hate people who are I worked hard, I deserve this. Yeah, we all work hard,
right?
Yeah.
And also the amount of talented comedians I know.
It's crazy.
There's so many, but there's just a confluence of luck and hard work and
timing
right
and
place,
what they
right
want
time.
And
blah
also
blah blah.
Self-work.
Yes.
So much of it is you have to know yourself in order for other people to trust you enough to get on board for stand-up specifically.
Right.
No, your voice.
But and that only comes by being able to be honest with yourself and be honest with other people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That first stand-up special I shot, it's good. It's really good. And I'm really proud of it. But it's not great. And I'll be the first person to admit that it's not great. And people watch it and everyone's like, that was really good, you know? And I've only gotten nice compliments on it. And it's wall-to-wall jokes and it all works. But there's moments in it that I look back on now that I'm like, I would never fucking do that now because I've done work around myself. There's a Confederate flag joke in it where I go, I don't get the Confederate flag. Maybe it's because I'm from New York. I would never qualify. Maybe it's because I'm from New York now. I just don't get it. I think it's,
right.
But I used to need.
Also, you've seen Confederate flags all over the country.
What
the hell?
You don't need the buffer anymore. You could just be say your point.
I'm not worried about are these people gonna like me?
Right.
Yeah.
I'm okay with me just being me.
That's great.
I'm not there yet. I'm the people pleaser. You talk about like the Irish family, my mom has that too. Not very demonstrative with emotions. Like the yelling.
Yeah.
That was I love my mom, but oh my God, so Mary Sharon Sullivan Gregory, so much yelling.
Don't Google her.
Don't sorry. I love my mom, but there was that side and then my dad's Protestant side, which is more like your side, where that was nobody showed emotion really ever. So I would try to tell jokes in front of them and be the happy-go-lucky one.
Yeah.
And it was people pleasing.
Yeah.
And it was a little codependency.
Yeah.
And so I'm still working on that.
I mean,
It's
how
just-
long did you do it? It's going to probably take
That's
that
right.
long.
It's so hard. It's so hard.
You know?
Yeah.
It's not going to just change,
Yeah,
and all that stuff, everything, all of our, especially when it comes to drinking, it's what our habits were, what our thoughts were about drinking, all that. It's it takes a long time to deprogram.
Yeah,
something.
It's,
for some people.
It's like anything else. You do you play guitar long enough, every year you look back and you go, oh man, I really sucked a year ago.
Yeah.
It's every year you just get better at being a person.
Yeah.
That you're sober or just
working
on yourself.
You can, and some people don't.
Oh yeah. I've met a dry drunk before. Yeah.
Wait, question. So the guitar. Are you playing guitar? Like, what are you doing for fun other than this, stand up and drinking coffee?
I love coffee. I'm a crazy
He's a
coffee
coffee brain.
Yeah.
But my hobbies.
Yeah.
So if I'm being honest, I don't know if I would call shopping a hobby. It's borders on addiction, but I'm not really shopping like I used to. But I love clothes and fashion stuff. I'm big into that. But probably like my biggest hobby is I'm a big fan of football, soccer.
Oh, yeah, great.
So I watch a ton of soccer.
Yeah. I love watching sports. I've gotten more into it recently because it's just like so incredible that humans can do that shit.
I know.
I mean, just like I'm in awe, and it's something I can't do, and I just love. It's talk about being present, like you're just like in the moment, like what's gonna happen, what's gonna happen.
I hated sports my entire life, and then at like 38, I got like deep into soccer.
Wow,
and
awesome!
It's just the funnest thing ever. Like,
it's because you met Brendan Hunt all those years ago.
All those years ago. Deep programming.
Yeah.
Like,
It's a long game.
One day.
Plays the long game.
And so I just like got really into soccer, and now I watch, a lot of games.
Yeah.
I'm watching my Arsenal play. I'm watching a lot of Serie A, all the
That's
Italian
great.
teams. I follow all the American players. I watch the U.S. games.
I
watch
love that.
Champions League, Europa League. Yeah.
I love that because I think that sometimes, like, when I initially got sober, I'm like, I can do so much stuff. I got like all these hours. I can wake up in the morning and do stuff. And it was like productivity. And I'm like, I do think we need a time where we're just like being lazy pieces of shit and enjoying ourselves.
Like you are when you watch football. No, I'm just kidding.
No, but I'm saying like, or when I watch like Vanderpump Rules.
Or I'm just in my house listening to records doing nothing.
Yeah, and that's okay.
Like,
It's good. It's actually good for us.
Right.
Like the cavemen didn't do stuff 24 hours a day.
And it took me a long time to know that it's
Right.
okay, especially like to be an artist. Like you need time to kind of do nothing.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
That's like when ideas percolate, or you have to be okay with being bored. The phone is. I have problems with my phone.
We talk about that every single probably episode.
Yeah.
We're just like dealing with that. Like
and because of the fact that my career is so tied to
right
social
and like
media.
sometimes that or like for me it's like you have a last minute audition and you're like, oh Jesus, like I missed, like you have to check it. It just sucks.
Yeah, it does. Because sometimes I've like gotten jobs through like Instagram stories or DMs or
responding right away.
Yeah, cultivated
things like that.
relationships with people through, not for work, but just naturally. Like yesterday, I was on. Well, that's never mind. Yeah, but I was like, I don't want to talk about that. I want to see what happens with that. But yeah,
you're doing a stand-up thing for like, just like like a Saudi prince or something.
Oh God, I wish. I fucking need to pay down this credit card debt.
For all that shopping.
Yeah. There was a period when I was during the pandemic. I went through a big breakup and I moved back in with my folks in Florida because I was like supposed to be there for like 2 months.
Where do they live in Florida?
Fort Myers. The
oh
Irish
yeah,
Riviera.
by Sanibel Island.
Yeah, right there, right across the bridge.
Yeah.
And literally, they're right on the other side of that bridge. Don't go find them. And so during that period, I was like waiting to move into my apartment that I'm in LA, that I'm moving out of in 2 months. And it was supposed to be 2 months, and then it went to like a year. And I did this like during that period, I did a lot of like pre-nesting. I was like buying stuff at vintage shops. And stuff. And the stand-up special I have, one of the networks was supposed to buy that I shot. So I was like, I'm going to pay off all of this. And then like it all folded in because they had like a big merger acquisition thing and people got laid off.
That is going on with like, just side note, like stand-up specials in general. Like they're not paying anything unless you're like one of 5 names right now. It's crazy. Yeah. Everyone's self-producing. Yeah. You can make your money back, but that's about it.
Well, Netflix, for the most part, unless you're Chappelle.
That's right.
Who, we need another Chappelle special about him talking about trans people, right, guys?
It's just
give me a sick special about a millionaire complaining about how he's so fucking marginalized while he's on the largest platform in the world being paid the most amount of money.
That's what I don't get about it. I'm like, why do you like say J.K. Rowling? I'm like, why do you care?
Rich, you have nothing else to fight against.
Think about you don't have anything. You just have to choose this random thing that doesn't actually affect your life at all.
Anyone who refers to themselves as the GOAT is not.
Unless you're like an actual goat.
Yeah. And then you're still not the goat. You're a goat.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Come on, goat.
It's just weird. This is weird when Chris Rock is alive to call yourself the GOAT.
Yeah.
It's just kind of sad.
Anyway, it is. Yeah. It's sad to watch a dude who's like.
He was brilliant. He's brilliant. Back in the day.
He had one really great stand-up special and probably the greatest sketch comedy show.
Right. I loved the sketch show.
The sketch show was insanely
and that was a
good.
team effort.
Right. True.
And he was a
Neil Brennan.
Yeah. Genius.
Yeah.
5 mics or 3 mics.
Oh,
phenomenal.
So
great
good.
stand-up special. Anyway.
We digress.
We
Inside
digress
baseball.
from how bummed I am that Dave Chappelle is just a fucking WWE heel now.
Yes. Oh my
God.
God.
All he's doing.
Exactly.
Yeah. Edgelord comedy is bullshit.
I just think it's just like no one's oppressed. Like it's not really. I mean, like people are oppressed.
can't-
Those people are not oppressed because they're rich and they're like they
Yeah.
can do what they want. Like
Yeah.
and they can ignore somebody. And not everyone's gonna like you. Like that's the other thing. Like they're like, well, I'm not allowed to say this. Well, like yeah, like you're not allowed to like you'll offend people.
can't just shit
You
on
can
people.
say it,
The
but there
job
might be
is-
consequences.
Yeah,
Right.
the job is to be funny, not hurt people.
Yeah,
Right.
like you're punching down. It's stupid. It's
That
easy.
I don't even like. If you want to make a joke about homeless people, that's fine. Just make it funny and have an actual point to it. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you can joke about anything, just don't fucking be a dick.
Right.
Yeah,
just shitting on people alone. It's not a comedy special.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's it's a fucking rally.
Right. This is
Oh,
the
man.
most into comedy we've gone on the podcast, which I
Yeah.
actually kind of
I like
love
it.
that we're like, oh yeah, because
Yeah.
we're all just happen to be non-drinking people
Yeah.
who also do comedy. So
Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
job. Yeah,
I love
it's the
it.
thing I think about the most.
yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah,
the
me
same.
too.
You know when like sometimes people will complain about how in LA like everyone just talks about their career, and I'm like. Not that I don't have family and stuff like that, but I'm like, yeah, because like comedy, I love comedy. So like I think about it a
yeah,
lot. Like, what else am I going to talk about?
It's like my child.
Yeah.
And it's a part of myself. I'm an artist. Like
Yeah.
I grew up wanting to be an artist from the time I first saw like movies when I was 13.
Yeah.
My earliest like
What was your
growing-
movie like that really was like, oh my
Goonies.
God. I love Goonies!
Yeah,
I went
Goonies.
to, have you been to Astoria?
Yes, I have.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
I love
drove
the
all
Oregon
along-
coast.
yeah.
I love
Oh,
Goonies.
cool.
Some of it, doesn't, like just some of like, like at the beginning, some of the jokes, like, you're like, oh, that was the 80s.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
like,
yeah,
it's
of
so
course.
Anything
good.
in the
I
80s.
love
Yeah.
adventure comedy so much.
Yeah.
Same. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish
No.
they made more of it.
Me
Yeah,
too.
me too.
Yeah. Make this movie, God damn it! Read the script, famous person already.
Joel.
No, but he would be great in it.
Yeah.
Fucking, why haven't I sent that movie?
Send it to
Yeah.
Joel.
Send it to Joel.
I'm gonna do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sell it to Hallmark. I'm just
yeah.
kidding.
Yeah, they don't got the budget. Action comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have a budget for that.
Wait, what-
No, the thing like you're talking about comedy. I love comedy too, and the tricky part for me is like they're like the new thing is like don't make your passion your hobby. Don't make your passion. Sorry. Sometimes your passion can just be your hobby. Sorry, I'm getting
Yeah.
this all wrong because if you make it your career, then you can end up hating it.
Mm-hmm.
And I made my passion my career, and it can get tricky sometimes because we get sad when it's not going well.
It's how I pay my bills.
But it's
Like,
how I pay my bills too.
Exactly. Like I'm both very lucky, and it does put a strain on what I do. Where
Right.
It's
Yeah.
like, why haven't I made it yet? And you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
And it seems fucked up to say it because I make a living at it, but it's like
No, I get it.
I make less probably than a teacher makes, or what a teacher makes. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
And I've had years when I've made like really great money, and you're writing on stuff, and then you have years where you're making like a quarter of the money.
Right.
We've talked
And you're
about that
doing,
too.
and you're putting in
That's the-
times
that's the
effort.
career.
Not 4 times the effort of a teacher, but 4 times. Sometimes, some years you're going show, like right, and then you're doing that basically in a vacuum or for free or for low paying,
Yeah.
And then some years you win the lottery and you get the big job, it's a crazy
How
roller
do you think
coaster
I
of a
got
career.
that sweet 2016 Toyota Prius?
Oh, yeah.
Paid for in cash.
Whoa,
Baby.
Yeah.
Wow. And that's what not drinking can do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get
Gets
you a full
cash.
cash Prius.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, JF, for
Yeah.
coming on the podcast.
Thanks for having
So
me.
great.
Yeah.
And thanks for being one of the inspirations for me to get sober.
Oh,
'Cause
yeah,
otherwise,
of
I'd be
course.
wasted somewhere.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah. And I want to see your stand up. You should do we do a comedy variety show if you could ever be if you're in town.
anytime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, next
Awesome.
time we do it, we'll have you
Yeah.
in the
Sweet.
show.
So buy tickets to that now. We don't know which one I'm going to be on, so you're just going to have to buy tickets to all of them.
All of them. Yeah.
All right. Thanks so much.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, can I plug my Instagram?
Oh, yeah.
Follow me on Instagram at the JF Harris. I'm on tour now. If you're in Boston, San Francisco, Long Beach, or going to be in Europe this summer, I'll be doing shows there. Thank you. Goodbye.
Woohoo. Well, JF is a great human being.
You know, it's so funny because he's 4 years younger than me. So I have this weird, like, I'm like proud of him. I'm also like amazed at how, like, it's like, wow, he's so smart. He's just saying all the right things. Like, look at him go. And it's like, yeah, of course.
Big sister energy.
Yes, he's a grown adult male.
Yeah, he's a grown, but you can still have big sister. It's a loving energy.
It is.
I like how he was like, you know what? Being sober means that I talk and I ask about how people are doing and I actually care. I love that. That's a great thing. That makes him a great person. What I like is that I can get free coffee out of doing that. So I'm going to try that tactic. So like JF, I can get free coffee wherever I go.
And you work at you own a coffee shop.
I can get free coffee.
She owns a coffee shop. I guess technically you're paying for it.
Yeah.
You're paying for my free coffee.
I'm going to say this. If somebody comes in and they listen to our podcast, you come to the Lyric Hyperion, and I'm here. You get a free coffee.
Can it be even if they come and I'm here?
Yeah.
Great.
One free coffee.
One free coffee for listening to the pod.
Yeah.
Because that's the JF Harris special. Yeah.
Yep.
No,
but then you have to listen to us talk about ourselves. Oh wait, you already are listening to.
If you know about this special,
listened to hours of us
and
talking
to
about
prove,
ourselves.
you can't just say I'm here for the JF Harris special because you know I have to prove that someone didn't just give you the code. So I'm going to ask you 42 questions about
42 questions. No, you don't have to do that. Just the JF Harris special, and you get a free coffee drink. And because we want to encourage you not drinking the booze, drink the coffee. You know?
And we just we love this idea of community and
paying it forward.
I think he's so great, and I always love when we have someone on who is in the same like little comedy world as us and has quit, because it just makes me feel less alone.
1,000,000%.
I mean, we have each other, but it's nice to continue to grow the community beyond our non-drinking buddy duo.
1,000,000%.
Yes.
So what do you have for us as a drink this week, Rebekka?
Some may say
yes,
it's spring. Let's have a spring drink.
You know, it hasn't been spring here in Los Angeles. I'm just going to say it's kind of like been a winter. We live in Seattle now. It rains every day.
So, because it's like been rainy and cold, and maybe you're longing for spring, but you know what? Savor the moment, savor the present. I decided to make a drink. Once again, Anne, gonna need you to name it on the fly.
God damn it. Okay.
You know what? It's one of your special skills that should go on your resume. Is naming.
I'm not
drinks.
very good at it. Let's go.
I think you're great.
Let's
at
go.
it. Okay. So here's the drink. We're gonna do pomegranate juice.
Okay.
But it's gonna be a warm, toasty drink.
Oh, okay.
And I feel like I saw someone call, what is it, like a mulled wine? Like someone said this is like there's a variation of mulled wine that uses pomegranate juice and tea, and then this is my own version of it without sort of 150 ingredients. So we're gonna do. I already brewed some hot orange spice tea, so it has black tea and orange and some spice in there. That's 3 flavors for the price of 1 tea bag. Ann.
Okay, 3 flavors for 1.
Okay, and then we're gonna throw in a little dollop. And a dollop is not a bartending term, but
I think it's about a tablespoon. I'm gonna say a splash
of pomegranate juice, and then let's put in. You can use maple syrup or you can use agave if you're a vegan. But honey, I prefer bee spit for this.
Loves to make out with bees.
I don't care if it hurts me. It hurts so good to make out with bees. Okay,
somebody was mentioning that honey doesn't go bad. Is that true?
I don't know, but it crystallizes sometimes.
It crystallizes, but I think technically you can still have it. Oh. I'm just saying that now somebody's going to die because I said the wrong thing.
Don't listen to Anne about food safety. She's
I got fired from the FDA.
She's
the FDA?
Yeah,
okay.
Probably.
She's
an expert in comedy and in not drinking, not in food safety.
Not in food safety.
Except for where it comes, except at the place of work.
Yeah, no, I know.
She doesn't
like
need to know about that.
Throwing a pineapple at me, I got a duck.
Yeah.
I know that food safety.
You could take it in the face, for humor purposes.
Yeah, that
wouldn't be safe, but it would be
I've
funny.
already broken my nose.
Okay, so don't do that. Okay, so then I have a little wedge of orange that I am squeezing into there as well. Probably if you were smarter than me, you'd have a spoon to stir it. But instead, we have a little tea cocktail.
Okay, I got to taste this before I name it.
Okay, let's do it. Mm-hmm. It does have a mulled wine quality.
Yeah. Mulled memories.
Mulled memories.
Remember.
Because you can remember now.
Because you're not drunk. Because you're not drunk, you can remember.
Well, Anne, it's been a pleasure doing business with you.
It's doing business. And it's been a pleasure, having an audience and people reaching out. Please share it. If it's helped you, share it. Yeah. And then rate us, give us a rating, leave a review. Let us know some more mocktail recipes. I certainly need them. Rebekka needs fewer of them, but I need some.
Also, if you comment and if you rate us, it actually helps us go up in the algorithm and makes the AI gods spew our podcast out to more earballs.
Yeah, and we need more earballs to listen to this message that being sober can be fun.
Yes, and if you don't have a non-drinking buddy, let us be your non-drinking buddies.
Please. We want to be your friend. I want to be JF's friend.
Yeah, you can.
I might go to a meeting with him.
Yeah, he said, get my number from Rebekka. Yeah. Look at that.
Go to a meeting.
Yeah. Hey,
bitch.
No,
he didn't say that.
Yeah, he said slut.
He said slut.
Yeah. Okay.